Hey guys, welcome back to the back room. This is your boy CG.
I'm your boy Bernard Barr.
Let's have a real conversation.
What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing, man. You know, we're rapping about a little something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, and you was talking to me today, and you was telling me about something. You know how certain jobs set, like, they pay attention to their workers and what they spending their money on and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I want to call this one job entrapment.
Yeah.
So why don't you break down like what you were talking about?
Well, see, in most cases, like I said, I know a lot of times we touch on like everybody can't be a boss and all this stuff, right? In certain cases, jobs do get you in a situation where they notice who's the best workers. The bosses do.
Right.
They know who the best workers. They also start to look at those workers' situation. And so what job entrapment is, some of the best workers who, like, you may see somebody and you're like, well, man, you know what? This guy or this girl, she shouldn't be here for too long. Right. Like she has, like, he or she, they're smart, intelligent, like, hell, they can run this company. So what ends up happening is, they'll notice that and they'll like start promoting those people in certain places, right? And it's not like they're gonna promote you over them or whatever like that. It's just to kind of keep you there. They'll pay you just enough to make you feel safe, to make you think twice about going somewhere else. Right. That's where kind of like the job entrapment initially starts, because you can have dreams and aspirations over here, but you just may be working at this job for the time being. Right. You know, like, jobs will pay you to forget about those dreams as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think, like, that's what we get wrapped up in, because they're not going to pay you as much as, like, you know, the owner or whoever, the chairman on the board or whatever. They're going to give you a little bump. Right. You know, they probably move you up every year or so. Like I said, I'm only speaking from experience. Right. You know, a lot of stuff that, you know, we're talking about doing and everything like that. Every place that I work at is like, okay, if they were trying to get me to move up here and here, pay me a little bit more to make me feel comfortable.
So basically, them paying you more is kind of putting you in a position to where, like, you know, if you're not financially educated or financially disciplined, you could be like, oh, well, I'm making more right now, so I can do more. Yeah. And maybe they're paying attention to that more that you're doing. Yeah. So it's like, okay, we got him.
Yeah. And I agree. Like, and what's end up happening with that is we'll start thinking about life then. Right? Because, like, you might have a plan to be only at that job for like 2 years or maybe a summer. Right. When the money start rolling in, now you looking at that bank account and you like, hey, I can get a car with this. Okay, well, we know, like, no matter what they're paying you at that time, you probably can't afford to buy that car outright. Right? So now what happens? That's a loan. Usually 3 to 4 years, probably 5.
Right. See, they go out, like we said before, they go out to 8.
All right. So now that's when the trap starts happening. Right. Because now you gotta keep this car. Right. So your mindset goes to, well, I'm at this job, so I'm gonna let this job pay for this. Now, mind you, you had dreams and aspirations over here to do this. Okay. How are you gonna do that? Depending on how your shifts are going. You get home, you tired.
Yeah, because now you're in a management position, or say you in a management position, it's taking more of your time out. So yeah, I get that, bro.
See, because now when they move you up, that's the thing, right? Now once they move you up, you're not a regular worker anymore. So, like, usually when you in that situation, or you can leave the job, you can leave the job at the job. You can go home and you ain't got no responsibilities. All right. Now, once they move you up in a situation, that phone ain't gonna stop ringing. Like that job come home with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And usually that's how the trap gets started.
You know, I was in the military, so like that's really I've had some jobs, some regular jobs, but I was like, I just got out of high school. So I've been in the military from high school to retirement. You know what I'm saying? So, but in that little bit of time, right, it's like the entrapment with that now that you start breaking these things down, is like, okay, with us, our biggest thing is medical. Yeah. We you know, our medical is either very cheap or it's free. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one right there.
So the thing is, now, by yourself, you don't really think too much about that. You know what I'm saying? But also think of it from a perspective of, I was 19 when I went into the military.
Yeah.
I never did anything with medical. Like, hey, look, I really ain't have medical coverage my whole life, pretty much. You know, everything was out of pocket because my parents, you know, old school, like, they ain't pay for no medical like that, bro. You better hope you don't get sick. Hey, we'll fix that with some home remedies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then when you get in the military like that, and say you have children.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm kind of like a subject of that job entrapment. So I went in and I'm like, hey, but see that also they get you like this too, right? I sign up for 4, right? I get up to the MEP station. They like, hey, we'll bump your rank up if you sign for 6.
Yeah.
So I'm signed for 6.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 19 at this time.
Yeah.
I ain't thinking about what can happen in 6 years. Like 6 years is a long time.
6 years.
6 years is a long time. So guess what? By the time my 4 year where I would have been out, hey, I done had kids now.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it ain't just me no more, right? And then I also have at that time a spouse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, okay, well, I gotta have medical for me. Yeah. I gotta have medical for my spouse. I gotta have medical for my kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's like, hey, look, you gonna get out here, work a 9 to 5 and do all that? Or you gonna stay in, you still live the lifestyle that you live in, and all this for free.
Yeah.
So I'm
right.
Hey, let me sign again.
Exactly. So that again, so it's on different levels of the entrapment, however you look at it, right? And we're basically saying like, okay, now you became aware of those things,
right?
Okay, now oh snap, it's medical,
right?
I'm here, so like you just did 6 years,
right?
Like in your mindset, I can't let this go. I can't let it. Yeah. Like in a way, like okay. If this is wasn't what you was planning on, in a way, that's the trap. You know what I'm saying? They get you to a point where it's like, what else you gonna do?
Cause bro, when I signed the first dotted line, I didn't have children. I'm 19.
No,
I didn't have children in my mind.
No,
I had like, hey man, I'm trying to, cause hey, my goal was to have a studio.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, let me do 4 years, stack up my money, get my studio done, all that type of stuff. But they know what they doing. They know how to get you.
Yeah, and so again, like I said, now with that, it's no difference. Cause okay, you're going to the studio and everything. Guess what? You moving up in rank. You got less energy to be in there. Cause now you got more responsibility. You see what I'm saying? So like, you making the money over here, but that little part of you for 19 years old is getting further away. You see what I'm saying? Cause we got you looking at this over here, and like your heart is always over there.
And I'm gonna tell you, by the time, cause I got medically retired at 11 years, right? Yeah. So the thing is like, but by that time, bro, and it could have been part of the whole reason I got retired as well. Like, but I was done. It was like, man, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it just like, you know, stars aligned in that situation, but it just like, I was exhausted, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to have a life and do that type of work as well. Like it's taxing.
It has to be. And think about it. It's no difference. Like it's no difference than, like you said, as you signed on 6 years and you get a family. You at that time you had a spouse. What's the difference is on the corporate side or the outside world? Once you move up, sooner or later you're gonna meet somebody. You're gonna get a spouse.
And you probably gonna get one of them women that or people that want the big house.
Right.
Because you can afford it.
Right. So you can afford it because now you're looking at that. Oh, wow. Look at the check and everything that I'm bringing in. Okay. So now as you move up, here comes somebody along that you probably want to spend the rest of your life with. Incoming kids. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So now you at this point, you got a mortgage 30 years. You got a car note. They got medical. The job has you. You're entrapped in that job. And like I said, we're not sitting up here saying it's a bad thing if that's the place you want it to be, because other people have aspirations, like they joined the military and they goal was to move up in rank. Mm-hmm. That's what they signed up for. Yeah. We're talking about for people who just usually it's a good worker who starts off at the job and never really was thinking about it. He's just he or she is just there to work. And what, like I told you, the bosses, the higher ups, they notice that. They notice this person is on time, this person do their shifts, this person whatever. The first thing they're gonna say is, hey, that's a supervisor. So I'm gonna put you in charge of the other people real quick. Because I can count on you to do what you need to do. Yeah. So as they see you work that system, why would I want to let you go? Right. Why? Because you make my job easier. If I'm the boss and everything, you make my job easier. My goal is to keep you for 30 years. Right. That's my goal. I don't want you to think that you can do anything else, because with your mindset, you can. Mm-hmm. If you are a hard, strong worker, everything, you can.
I'm gonna tell you what they do. Hey, look, when they trying to move you up in those jobs, right? Yeah. Hey, come over. Hey, Roy, come over to my house. You go over their house and they got a beautiful family. They house on the lake, and it's just everything just look magical there. Yeah. And boom, they got you. Yeah. All right, let's go out here and talk a minute. Mm-hmm. Now I was thinking, I wanted to move. You know what I'm saying? Because now they done probably brought and look, don't have a significant other or somebody you know what I'm saying, like that. Because they didn't seen what your boss can do. Yeah. And now it's like, oh, we get to live like this too. Oh, we're gonna be buddies.
And so also, and that's a great way to touch on that, because also what happen with that, they make you feel like you can't tell them no, because now we're establishing a friendship now. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So even now I'm at this job, I can't leave you hanging. Right. So even if I take the promotion, and I get myself in a situation where it's like, hey man, I made enough money, I can actually go work for myself. Right. You're not gonna do it, because now they're gonna be built a rapport with you, and now it's loyalty there. So they're trapping you in that mindset right there, man.
It's crazy though to think about it. That really happens though. Like, it happens. They come and show you how nice their life is, and hey, you can have a boat like that too.
And then also, exactly. And then also, before you know it, like I said, the entrapment, like it sneaks up on you, man. Mm-hmm. Like the years at the job, it sneaks up on you. Yeah. Like before you know it, you look up, oh, I've been there for 5 years. Yeah. Because see, every time it was a bump up.
Yeah. And then look, check this now. So the situation is like, you might be in a job that requires you to do less, but your responsibility is like literally the weight of the company. Mm-hmm. So if you do something wrong that affects your boss or his bottom line or his family, guess what? He pointing the finger at you. He threatening to fire you now.
Exactly. And
then look, because he done got your family involved with his family, your family gonna be mad at you for not doing your job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that, bro, like this is crazy on so many levels, because like I said, a lot of times they don't think about it. And usually, like I said, it starts off with a person who's a great worker. Mm-hmm. They just come into work. Mm-hmm. They just want, like, whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life at that time. Mm-hmm. You know, you're like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just do this for a couple years, or I'm gonna do this or whatever, and I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. Their goal is, once they see that you're great at that, my goal is to keep you there. I don't want you to move on to the next thing. Right. And usually that's what happened with the entrapment, man.
Hey, I mean, man, like, I think this was a great topic. I like at first I was trying to see where I fit in the topic, but
yeah.
I mean, you know, when you start breaking things down, it really a lot of it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have to be careful with these when we going to work for people. Like you know, it's a lot of like when you at the top, you can see everything, but when you at the bottom, you can only see the next level.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So.
I agree.
It's kind of like, you know, you got to be careful and you got to be aware and you got to start looking beyond what the next level is. Cause you know, obviously you got to step up.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to say this real quick before you end it. We're not telling anybody like, oh man, quit your job, don't go work for anybody or anything like that. I think we're speaking purely on those ones that
be aware.
Yeah, be aware of it.
Be smart about what you do in your life.
And get the understanding that like they will pay you to forget about your dream.
Right.
And whatever those dreams may be. And then before you know it, you look up, it's 20 years and you've been trapped at the same position. That's the thing to be aware about.
Look, man, this is a great topic. Just be aware, man. Be aware of your situation. But hey, this is the Back Room. It's your boy CG.
I'm your boy Bernard Barr.
And we out.